in our 21. If you're 21 and a sex toy pop up, are you still as comfortable? Because I know we 30 plus in the system.
Am I still having sex? Why does it matter? Right? That thing's not taking my place, right?
I don't know if my 21-year-old ego could.
What's the ego coming from?
Accept the assistance.
See, okay, here's the thing with me in that. I think that it would just make me think that she's a total freak, like in a great way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like now as like a 26-year-old man, like when I see that, I'm like, oh, like she's comfortable with her sexuality,
and she's not pointing that bitch at me. We're good to go.
Okay.
Oh, I've been in that situation before.
Oh no, you can't skirt on that.
Oh my god.
Was she making lightsaber jokes? Anyway.
No,
wait.
Yeah.
She pointed at you.
Hold on.
Okay, so
Wait. She assaulted your rectum?
No. She wanted me to assault her. Like she was one of those BDSM chicks. Oh. Yeah. And I knew that it was coming because she told me all about it beforehand. She sent me pictures of her collection of whips. Ooh. And listen, here on the Graham Radio podcast, we do not kink shame. Nonetheless,
no, not at all.
Nonetheless,
I'm here for these stories.
Kink it up.
What you are into is what you're into, and not everybody is into it. And when I went to her place, before I went to her place. She told me all about the stuff, and I was, hyping her up a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm going to do all these things.
No, say what you said.
That's what you said.
I honestly might have said that. I might have.
You stumbled through. You say, "No, I'm going
to do all that to you." Yeah.
That what you said. Googling shit.
Yeah. You're hot. So I go to her place, and it's like 7 or 8 different types of whips. 3 or 4 different types of feathers, a bunch of vibrating stuff, and she laid on the bed and wanted me to whip her. And
how many times you hit her?
I took my shirt off, and I whipped her feet a little bit. Like what I was doing was I was asking her questions about me, and if she would get it wrong, then I would.
Oh, okay.
I would whip her.
I'm following. Go ahead.
Close my eyes.
I just honestly, and this might sound super dorky. Okay, actually, before that,
do your thing, Graham.
So on my way to her place. Okay, so here's one thing about me. If I'm a little bit hungry, I cannot sleep. Like, if I'm just a little bit hungry, I can't sleep.
That's a nice luxury to have.
Well, no, it's not a luxury. It's like I want to be able to go to bed. Like, if I am the slightest bit hungry, I will not be able to fall asleep, no matter how hard I fight it. The plan was for me to sleep over at her house. So on my way there, I went to Publix and I purchased challah, which is Jewish bread. It's really yummy.
Challah.
Yes, and I bought some eggs.
And some eggs?
Challah and eggs?
Yes.
You mean a challah egg sandwich?
Were they boiled? Were they raw egg? Like, what do you mean you bought eggs?
Like a carton of eggs.
You used to buy a carton of 6.
You finna cook at her house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, real quick. This might play into a story because I want to hear the story. Did you get half a dozen? You got a dozen? Like,
I got a dozen.
You got a whole dozen eggs to take to a girl's house?
Yeah.
Were you going to eat a whole dozen of eggs?
Well, at night, in the morning, if she wants some.
I got you.
I got a whole loaf of bread. You didn't say anything about that.
That's true.
Prepping.
That's true. You can't buy like a half of a loaf of bread.
And, of course, I got 2 bottles of wine. One white, one red, because, you're going over to a female's
so
house.
I'm aware. I'm going to make sure I'm following.
And you said you don't have game.
Holla?
Well, see, this story might prove that I don't have game. And I proudly don't have game, okay? Yeah. Whatever.
I don't know.
That's
So far, that's game worthy.
That's game, but not having game.
So far, and listen, I never showed up in my life with challah, eggs, and 2 bottles of wine.
Well, you're not Jewish, though.
I am a little bit.
Well, were you bar mitzvahed?
I would like to be.
Okay.
Bars were involved.
I got a bald spot. I always wanted like a little cap to cover.
A bald spot? You're bald, bro.
I know. I'm bald now, but when it started with a bald spot. I was like, damn, if I was Jewish, I'll be cool. I just throw it on the ball spot. If I was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, if I was Jewish, I can get away with a little.
The little yarmulke.
Yeah, like throw the little coffee filter on my head. I'm good.
There's a theory that's how that started. The guys would be balding and they would put on the yarmulke and be like, oh, ladies, right.
Oh, you got the little ha part too.
Yeah, you gotta get that.
My friend.
Is that Hebrew or Yiddish?
It is Hebrew, my friend.
Oh gosh.
I wanted the story. All right, holla. The dozen eggs and the
whips.
2 bottles of wine
and whips.
You get there, you hungry a little
I
bit.
get there and we have some like conversation, whatever. Start smooching her a little bit.
Smooching.
You didn't say smooching, did you?
What?
Then when you were like, can I smooch you? You didn't say smooch.
No,
you.
what? I just I played it cool.
Okay.
Kissed
Just do
her.
it. You just do it.
Kissed her a little bit. Determined whether or not she was into it. I
Good.
determined that she in fact was.
You took the proper amount of
Yeah.
time to let her accept.
Got an enthusiastic
guess.
guess.
Exactly.
Very good.
You gotta
Very by the book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was respectful.
No Cosby.
And then we got into her room, and it got real disrespectful. Like, just whips everywhere, feathers. I actually I remember this now. I asked her to bring a fucking dry erase board because
You requested this.
Yeah, I
Teaching
requested
class?
this
She
because
had a dry erase board with her.
I think I don't know where she got it.
She a
but,
teacher?
No.
Jesus.
She was actually in law school with me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Jesus.
She was a year younger.
Details are
than me.
getting closer
Interesting ass
now.
party.
Yeah. We're
Let-
not
let
gonna.
Graham- let Graham do his thing.
We're not gonna reveal who it was.
Exactly.
No, never.
But if you're listening to this right now and
Salute.
you went to law school with me, your
sorry.
brain is probably on fire.
Yeah.
Feel free to text me and we'll talk about it.
Salute,
Yeah.
salute to you.
So we I take my shirt off and I'm on the bed, but like I'm like on my knees with my back straight up, and she's on her back, just and with like her feet out.
Okay.
And I'm asking her questions about me. Where did I go to college? I don't know. Whip.
Wow.
She's like really stupid shit.
Yeah.
And after like 3 or 4 whips, I literally was like, I'm gonna give her a fake name here. I'm gonna give her a fake name.
Yeah.
Beatrix. I'm honestly not into this, so I think I'm just gonna go. And she was just like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just not into this. Like, I'm just gonna bounce."
What made you feel bad?
So-
like what happened?
Because I very quickly discovered that it does not sexually arouse me to assault women. Like, I don't care how consensual it is. Well, actually, I guess if it is consensual, then it's not considered an assault. Attorney. So, nonetheless, not into whipping. Not into that.
Us either.
And
For
I.
obvious reasons.
And what?
We're not into whipping as well for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, so that's Cloudmaster Price, by the way. So she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Do you want to watch 50 Shades of Grey and maybe like
She's
learn
trying to
about it?"
introduce you to the
Yeah,
game.
she's trying to introduce me to it. So I'm like, "Sure."
I've been there before.
So we were watching it, and have you guys seen 50 Shades of
yeah,
Grey?
yeah. Well,
Such a terrible movie.
So hold on. So I don't want to break into your story, but I have never seen it. But my wife has watched all 3 in one weekend, and I have to tell you that it's something interesting to come in on your.
She watched all 3?
Girl. She watched all 3 in one weekend. It was a fun weekend. We don't do whips and shit, but it's an arousal thing.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
sex,
yeah.
a lot of nudity. Very nice. But anyhow,
lot of like nudity, a lot of
Gratuitous.
female oriented nudity.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this movie was absolutely terrible. Like, just like it wasn't like a cinematic movie. It was just basically softcore porn
Yeah,
for women.
it was Cinemax shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. So we're watching it, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, let's fast forward to the good parts. And the good parts were basically just like this dude like being all sexual and just basically slapping her around a little bit.
that wasn't who you were, and that dude wasn't who in your mind you wanted to be at the time.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
No Christian Grey.
So I was just like, thanks, but I'm still not into it. So I packed up my shit.
Your eggs and you didn't even leave the challah or the eggs?
You took the challah?
I took the
Why'd you
challah,
take
the
the
eggs, the
challah?
wine.
You're not gonna take your holla? I'll take my
You
holla.
took the
I
challah?
took the challah and the
Challah,
eggs.
but you
Because he
took
still
your-
didn't eat yet. He had to go
That's
home and eat.
crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to go to bed. So I took all of the challah, all the wine, because we never even opened the wine, and I left and I went home.
My
Do
man
you
took his
think that
ball
she
home.
couldn't get sexually aroused unless it was with some type of BDSM?
Dude, okay, so we started like making out, like normal sexual stuff.
Did she bit you?
But she literally like she literally stopped and was like, "Okay, let's start." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Were you intimidated?
I wasn't intimidated. I was like ready because I had been thinking about it for like a week. I'm like, all right,
Right.
we're doing this. So, maybe I got like a little bit too excited. Maybe I need to hit this girl up and try
And
this
run it
again.
back? Run it back?
Here's my thing. You could have at least gotten, like, did she have a paddle?
She had everything. You
You
could
could have at
spikes.
least paddled her lightly.
What
You
what
know,
could she have done
could've
to?
just
What
fucked
could
her.
she have done to?
No, I don't think she got aroused by that.
No, but what could she have done to have won her Grammy?
I don't know because I'm just not in that world. And her Grammy,
Hold on.
Grammy,
Hold on, Graham.
dude. If I do like an award game,
Yes.
they need to give out Grammys. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm writing that
Yeah,
down.
like,
That's
but
hard.
you can't
I'm
be
literally
golden. You
writing
got to
that
be
down.
like kind of like a
No, he
red
ain't
statue
gonna
with
be
glasses.
Listen, Grim, I'm decent. I'm decent with names here. I'm decent with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I know you. I know what you.
He really
As you
typing
like
shit
that,
out.
I know that. You know, you need to run with the Grammy. I think
Yeah.
you need to run with the Grammy, right? They spell a little different. Yeah, she could have won her Grammy.
And the
But-
Grammy for
'cause
best
tomorrow,
nicknames
like when you
is-
listen to our podcast tomorrow, on how game and all that, women need to get their Grammy. You the Grammy.
I love that. I love this Grammy.
I'm
thing.
gonna hate on it though because
That was a clip from the Graham Radio podcast. For more on Graham Radio, check out grahamradio.com.